why
see
you're
this?
following.
Do y'all see that? Get away from me before I clock you. I'm not playing with you.
Before you clock me, Miss Washington?
Get on my face.
So why are you...
Could you get on my face? Get on my face. Get on my face.
Why
Get on my
are you
face.
connecting people?
Get on my face.
Why are you connecting people?
What are you talking about? I don't play like that.
So either this local news reporter for Fox 45 Baltimore is incredibly short, or this particular woman is much larger than any of us could have imagined. Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Sean, and on this channel, as of late, I have covered numerous stories of squatting in the city of Baltimore, and specifically how there seems to be a criminal enterprise that connects people looking to squat on properties with said properties, and it appears that Fox 45 has finally found and confronted one of the heads of this criminal organization, and unsurprisingly, despite what the left wing tells us about squatting being a non-violent crime, about it being a no big deal, just a civil matter, nothing to be concerned about, this woman decided to come out with physical force and try to assault this local news reporter, which by the way should lead to additional charges as well. And thankfully, this incredibly large woman has her face shown to us so we can actually identify her, name and shame her for her alleged crimes, because if true, if everything that we are told is actually the reality, this woman is responsible for the theft of multiple different properties across the city of Baltimore, and that's what we got to talk about today. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me money, give me money, give me money. Squatting has become a hot topic in Maryland over the past month. In a heated exchange, Spotlight on Maryland's Gary Collins spoke with one woman who has been posting ads on social media that allegedly connect individuals to what the woman calls online squatter homes.
Like to get insurance.
Spotlight on Maryland has been reviewing social media advertisements, videos, and posts allegedly connecting unauthorized occupants or squatters to properties throughout the region for a one-time fee.
So the reason I keep covering this story, even though not very many of you are clicking on these videos compared to my other videos, is because in my opinion, it's worth it, even if nobody watches them, that we document this for the world to see. What you just witnessed right there were videos of her doing a walkthrough as if she is a real estate agent or a listing agent of a property. During the course of the video, she is talking about how she's changing the locks of said property because this woman, according to the reports, is running a squatter scheme as if it's a legitimate business and arming these people who end up moving into these properties with not only the keys to the property, but also all of their squatters' rights in order to get them to, drag the whole case out in court over the course of years. And she is yet to be arrested on these particular charges, despite the fact that she quite literally has videos of herself in a property that she allegedly broke into, changing the locks by her own admission, and then putting up said property for other people to rent for a one-time fee that is paid to her. And again, they're not actually renting the property, they're just paying her for the connect, for finding out where you can squat, and that's this woman's business model. Obvious, blatant criminality, if true, and yet there are no arrests. And yet, even when they end up sending police to these properties and they interview the people that are squatting on them, and they say they were told this is how you squat on the property, and I know my documents are fake, there's no arrest made there either. It's absolute madness, but let us continue.
After investigating for more than a month, we tied Baltimore area resident Kaniya Washington to one of the social media accounts using information we obtained from alleged squatters that pointed to her. In one instance, her name was even listed on a leasing document an occupant provided to us. When we reached out in May.
Now, if you thought it was just her posting videos of the property, of course it wasn't. Of course, she is also showing her face all over these social media accounts because, of course, she also is desperate for attention. In addition to that, on at least one of the documents, as reported by Fox 45 Baltimore, she actually has her own name on it and signature on it as receiving payment for making this connection. And of course, the local Fox affiliate ended up sliding into her DMs and she responded with an absurd statement. "Dear Mr. Collins, I categorically deny any unlawful entry or inappropriate access to any property. Any video I have posted online was created within the bounds of the law and does not depict or imply any illegal activity. Any suggestion otherwise is false, misleading, and defamatory. I strongly caution you against misrepresenting the facts or making baseless claims in your reporting." So obviously, this woman missed the golden opportunity to say, "I reject all your false allegations and not facts."
Off of hearsay. False allegations and not facts.
But it goes on. "Dear Mr. Collins, to be clear, I did not gain access to the property in question, nor did I enter it at any time. Any implication or accusation that I unlawfully accessed the property is completely false. Please ensure your reporting reflects that truth, as any misrepresentation will be considered defamatory and legally actionable." Now, of course, the follow-up to this is, how do you have videos that you're narrating from within the property if you never gained access to the property? And it doesn't appear that there is a response, or at least from the messages that we've seen right here, there is no actual response. But of course, this woman decided to take it a little bit further. She decided to ratchet it up.
Meanwhile, on Monday, Washington posted on her social media account asking for an interview.
Gary Collins, how come you don't want to do an interview now, but you only wanted to do an interview when I was portrayed to look like a monster? You don't want to interview me? Let's talk about governance in the city.
So of course, this absolute doof who has her name on fraudulent documentation, who appears to be breaking into these properties and advertising them on her social media that is attached to her name, decided to call out the local news reporter for an interview, saying that he was ducking her and that she would not stand for these allegations.
Off of hearsay. False allegations and not facts.
And this is what led us to the altercation at the beginning of the video, because spoiler alert, they do want to interview her, they do want to put her on camera, they do want to confront her, and obviously she asked for it but couldn't handle it, and this is where the threats of violence actually came in.
Hey, Miss Washington, Gary Collins from Fox 45 News. Our team learned Washington was in court in Frederick County for unrelated traffic violations. We tried to speak to her about her social media account. How are you? Quick question: Why are you connecting individuals to slaughterhouses on your social
following
media?
me to court is crazy.
Miss Washington, you can record us, but I'm very curious why you're following.
I love when this kind of thing happens, when somebody provokes an altercation, when somebody demands that you come and interview them because you're too scared, and then of course they show up, they prove that they're not scared, and all of a sudden this is crazy. And then she tries to get the attention of other people, but in reality, when you're at a courthouse and you see a suspect or a criminal or somebody who is alleged to have committed a crime walking out of said courthouse and being confronted by the press, the fact is you just presume as somebody who's out there that that person is accused of doing something that is newsworthy, and the idea that you're going to intercede on her behalf, it's just not going to happen. But of course, she doesn't understand this. She also doesn't understand basic human interaction and common decency.
Get away from me before I pluck you. I'm not playing with you.
So immediately, this innocent Baba Angel Aladdin decides that she is going to escalate to violence, which proves, by the way, the thing that I've always been saying time and time again, is that these criminals that are supposedly committing nonviolent crimes or who are alleged to have committed nonviolent crimes immediately will escalate to violence when the choice is between you or them getting caught, because this is all about instant gratification, and they don't give a damn who they harm, whether it be financially, whether it be through the theft of their property, or whether it be physically, like she threatened on camera in this particular video.
Before you clock me, Miss Washington?
Get out my face.
So why are you...
Get out my face. Get out my face. Get out my face.
Of course she says, "Get out my face before I clock you. Get out my face. Get out my face. Get out my face." You know, instead of walking away from a reporter that you don't want to answer questions from, even though, again, you're the one who demanded this confrontation. You're the one who demanded this interview. And then she physically assaults his microphone. And to be fair to this woman, to be fair to Miss Washington, a lot of people are gonna say that she's just going through poverty, she's just experiencing poverty. The real criminal in this particular case is poverty, and we should go out and arrest it. And while I don't accept that explanation 9 times out of 10, the fact is, this woman can't even afford a shirt that actually fits her. What is she to do but steal people's properties when, again, this is how she's dressed for a court appearance? And I'm assuming, based on the fact that this woman shows poor judgment, that the traffic violations that she was in court for, presumably she also did do, although those are alleged unless they were adjudicated, and we don't have the final notice on those adjudications. I'm just taking an educated guess.
Are you connected to?
What you talking about? I don't play like that. Y'all run it down on me and all that. Don't play with me.
So, of course, the same woman who is accused of stealing people's property shows no regard for the local news media's property, takes his stuff, and then throws it on the ground. And again, she acts all shocked that they ran her down at court. She real angry. She like, what you even talking about? As if we didn't see the video of her tagging this guy specifically and calling him out to do an interview. Again, this is how you react when you don't think things through, when you're not smart enough to foresee the consequences of your own actions. And hopefully, this is the first step to her exposure, arrest, and possible conviction, again, if all of the allegations against her are proven to be true.
You a dummy.
No clear answer what Kaniya Washington's role may be in online squatting networks in Maryland.
Now, look, I do want to throw out one more piece of defense for this woman right here, because I did say that she should have just, walked away, got away from this situation if she didn't want to do the interview. But in reality, when you look at how slow this woman is moving, when you look at her gait, she actually might not be able to escape, even if she attempts running from this local news media reporter, even if he's significantly shorter than her and might actually be some sort of leprechaun and or elf. Again, I have no idea the heights of these individuals. She could be over 6 feet tall. He could be 5'10", average height or above average height for an American male. I don't have anything to gauge it against, but I'm just saying there is a definite size disadvantage here for the reporter. And if you're looking up at this terrifying woman, I understand why she would use her size to try to intimidate you.
What we do know is officials acknowledge how social media is fueling squatting, including Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott.
This is not a new issue for Baltimore or for the state of Maryland. And what is different, though, is that these folks are doing the advertisement for these things online, which we are looking at if there are ways to hold them responsible legally in that way.
Maryland's squatting issue has also caught the eye of Governor Wes Moore.
So look, the Baltimore mayor, surprisingly, and of course the governor of Maryland have called out these specific advertisements, and I give them credit for that. I will also point out that the Baltimore mayor looks like he's 18 years old. I mean, the guy does not age. It is quite impressive. And even though I disagree with him in terms of policy, the fact is he looks like the equivalent of Joffrey the Boy King on the throne of the city of Baltimore, and I think we need to give him a bit of credit for just being immune to all aging. Maybe, just maybe, the reason he's holding a baby up right there is that he's sucking the youth out of said baby through some kind of spiritual magic and whatnot. And honestly, I've talked about this probably way more than I should, but these are just all my theories based on the fact that this man is an ageless wonder. I mean, guys, you think I'm joking, but this man is 41 years old. That is the face of a 41-year-old man. He looks like Coleman Hughes' little brother, and he's 41 years old.
Meanwhile, homeowners, contractors, developers, and property owners are left picking up the pieces and dealing with the lasting impact of alleged squatting.
Trash, food, all over the house. You can bother putting a trash bin.
So yeah, you see a little bit of the aftermath of a squatting situation, and I want people to understand that the trashing of the property is a part of the process, because one of the things that these people are instructed on is that eventually the property owner will come by and they'll work out some kind of deal, some kind of an arrangement with the squatters. But the thing is, in order to put pressure on the property owner, you have to actually start trashing the property to the point where they think that the repairs that they're going to have to put in if you are allowed to continue, far outweigh the cost of paying you whatever one-time settlement that you're offered. So this is the perfect example of what the conclusion is and what the goal is of these scams. And unsurprisingly, the alleged person at the helm of many of these property scams is an absolute scumbag who decided to threaten violence immediately after being confronted with some basic questions based on her social media posts. But you know what? Those are just my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you like this video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on the social medias, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about the madness in Baltimore. Till next time.